Mrs. O, and I'd love to be your online music teacher. I'm a graduate of the Boston Conservatory of Music, and I've been a piano teacher and a public school music teacher for the past 32 years. Now, there's no substitute for having a real piano teacher sitting beside you. These online lessons will give you an idea of what it's like to take piano lessons with a traditional teacher. And you can try it out before you make the commitment to have a real teacher. And at that point, you can head to your local music store. They usually have a lesson program built in. You can buy all your music there. And if they don't have a music lesson program, they can direct you to local piano teachers in your area. Now, what you'll need to begin. First, you need a piano or a keyboard. A keyboard is just fine for the beginning stages of learning the piano. After that, you might want to switch to a digital piano or a real piano. The second thing that you'll need is a lesson book. It's really important that you have a book to use. You'll need to go over and over the basics, and you'll need to have music to practice. It's all about the time that you put into your piano practicing. The teacher is going to show you the basics, and then you've got to put the time in and learn them on your own. Now, here are some books that I highly recommend. The first one is John Shawm. This book is $6.95. It's a series. This is the first in the series. Now, this book has been around forever. I started with this book 48 years ago. Teachers still use it because it's effective and efficient and lays out the material in a really organized way. If you're a mom, and maybe you're helping your kids through piano lessons, maybe you've had a few lessons and you're helping them to learn, this one is a great book for younger students. John Thompson's Teaching Little Fingers to Play. This book has been around for a long time also. This book is $4.99. Great little book for younger students. This is a book that I would use for 4th grader, 5th grader, and on up. It's the Alfred Basic Piano Series. It's $8.50. It'll take you from the very beginning stages to playing some kind of complicated music. The pictures are still kind of juvenile, but you get all the basics. It's organized in a really efficient and effective way. So I suggest that you pause at this point and head to your local music store. Pick up one of these books and be ready to go next time. I'll see you soon. Hi, welcome back. I hope you've got your book and you're ready to go again. Well, the first thing that I think we should do is talk about how to sit at your piano. It's important to sit with good posture. You're going to use half the bench, so you're not too relaxed. You have good posture, you're sitting up nice and tall. And I usually tell all my students to think about sitting with their belly button opposite middle C. Now, where is middle C? Okay, to find middle C, you look at your piano. The manufacturer's name is usually right in the middle. And directly down from that, you're going to see 2 black keys. To the left of those 2 black keys is middle C. Now, the musical alphabet goes from A to G. So you're just going to go up alphabetically. C, D, E, F, G, and then it repeats. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. I could take that back to the lower end of the piano. I'm going to find those 2 black keys down here to the left of any 2 black keys. You'll note that that's going to be C. There it is, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Now, that means that you know the name of every white key on the piano, and you might want to take a moment to pause and give yourself some practice here. Let's, for instance, name all the C's on the piano. C, there's another group of 2 black keys, that's C, 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 and down to the lower side, I'm looking toward the grouping of 2 black keys going to the left, and that's C. You might want to test yourself a little bit. Okay, where are all the F's on the piano? Okay, well, I'm going to find C, D, E, F. There's one F. I'm noting that it's to the left of 3 black keys. There's another F, another. We can go to the lower side of the piano. F, F, and F. And you can test yourself with all of the letter names from A to G in the musical alphabet. Okay, now today I'm going to use the Sham book. This one again is the green book. You can use whichever book that you've got. Turn to one of the initial pages. You're going to see the same type of things, but I'm going to talk you through what's on this page. First thing about taking traditional piano lessons is that you're learning to read the music. It's like learning to read another language. So there's a lot to it. That's why we say that you have to practice every day. It's going to become familiar to you. Now, I'm starting here on page 12. And this is what a piece of music might look like. Music is written on a staff. A staff is the 5 lines in 4 spaces. These round things with a little stem, those are the notes. And depending on where they're put on the staff, that gives you its letter name. Now, here are our first 3 notes that we're going to learn and memorize. C, D, and E. So this is what a piece of music might look like. Music is written on a staff. That's the 5 lines in 4 spaces that you see here. We have the treble clef, which indicates that we're playing this line with the right hand. These are the letters, these are the notes and letter names from middle C to the upper register of the piano. The bass clef indicates that you're playing with the left hand. Now, let's figure out what this is. I can go up to the top of my page here and find out that that is what middle C looks like. Middle C, D right next to it, and E. Let me give you a bigger version. This again is your treble clef, indicating you're playing with the right hand. This note just under the staff is middle C. Right under the staff with no line through it is D. And the next note, right on the bottom line of the staff, is E. So those are the first 3 notes that we're going to be learning. Now, another thing about reading music is music not only has pitch, but it has rhythm. Okay, so these are the notes that we're going to learn first. Again, this is the treble clef, indicating that you're going to play it with the right hand. These are the notes from middle C to the upper register of the piano. This note below the staff with a line through it is middle C. Just under the staff is D, and on the bottom line of the staff is E. So music not only has pitch, but it also has rhythm. As you look at the page here, you'll note that some of the notes are colored in and some of them are open. That indicates rhythm. Now, a note that's colored in and that has a music not only has pitch, but it also has rhythm. As you look at the page, you'll note that some of the notes are colored in and some of them are open. That indicates how many beats or counts each note is going to get. For example, the notes that are colored in and have a stem get 1 beat or 1 count. And this is called a quarter note. If the note is not colored in, still has a stem, it gets 2 beats or counts, whichever word you prefer, and this is called a half note. This kind of note with no stem at all, that's open, is called a whole note. and it gets 4 counts, meaning that we hold the note down for 4 counts. Now, I'm going to correctly position my hand on the piano. I'm going to make a loose fist on the piano. Okay, so now I'd like you to correctly position your hands on the piano by doing the following. With your thumb on middle C, again to the left of 2 black keys, you're going to make a loose fist on the piano and open up so that you have 1 finger on each key. C, D, E, F, and G. So, now let's look at our music. We can name the notes together. C, 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 and that's a half note. We're going to give that 2 beats. C, D, E, C, D, D. And with my hand on the keyboard, correct position, here's what it's going to sound like. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And that's your first song. Okay, so we're coming to the close of your first piano lesson. Typically, piano lessons are about a half an hour in length, and at the end of your piano lesson, your teacher will write down in a small notebook for you what your assignment is until the next lesson. And usually, lessons are weekly. Now, your assignment for next week is to go over the things that are at the beginning of your book. Make sure that you can name the notes C, D, E. Make sure that you know what this is, the treble clef. Go over the rhythms that we talked about briefly too. Remember the whole note getting 4 counts. The quarter note colored in with a stem getting 1 count. And the half note getting 2 counts. Remember, it's open and yet has a stem. Then play through a few of the songs at the beginning of your book. Make sure that you play them daily. And if you feel comfortable moving on to the next few pages, go ahead. Make sure you read what's on your book and practice it, taking time to name the notes and go over the rhythms. Well, I hope you had a great first lesson. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to working with you and being your online piano teacher. I'll see you next week at your lesson.